Hello my awesome Anon jungle friends. Many people are still avoiding fundamentals. While we are all about intensity, passion and excitement, you can't avoid the fundamentals and hope that things work out for you. Hope is not a strategy. It is for Disney watches and fiction. Instead, in this video, we're going to outline 10 of the most important things you should learn about this side of the web. Even if you don't care about being rich, they will impact your life in a positive and meaningful way. Number 1. Health is always first. We've said this before. While we focus primarily on helping you become exceedingly rich with a chance to make it to Deegan Island 2035, all of this is meaningless if you're in a hospital bed. If you want to see the pain of being in bad shape, then volunteer at a hospital. Health is number 1. If you are in bad health, you can't use the money and you can't even make more money. That's how important health is. The trick is balancing energy with time. In your 20s, you can hit the clubs, party until 2 a.m. and be perfectly fine by 7 a.m. This is not something that is feasible at age 40. Again, we're not being negative, we're being realistic. When you're in your 20s, you have tons of energy that can take a big beating with no health impact. This is not the case in 20 years. Don't use your energy to black out at the clubs with Push-Up Bra Susan at Catch on a Monday in Manhattan. In short, grind like no other in your 20s and make sure your health is your number 1 priority at all times. You can't make money, spend money, or enjoy money without it. In your 20s, you can easily work 80 hours a week because your body can handle it. It will not get easier in the future. Number 2. No scarcity beliefs. This is primarily an issue for Wall Street people. Yes, seriously. Wall Street is a masochistic industry where everyone believes they are the most important person. This creates a scarcity mindset even though money is not a zero-sum game. While we have disdain for Wall Street, saw more scams and illegal activity and racism than anyone could possibly imagine, some of the guys are actually smart. The problem? They all have a zero-sum ego-blocking mentality. Here is a way to fix that. If you know anyone, you should be happy when they get rich. If they get richer than you, the reaction should be thrilled. Not insecurity or negativity. If you show that you are upset, you just burned a bridge with a decamillionaire or centimillionaire. Congrats, you played yourself. Making money is never zero-sum. There is always an opportunity for wealth, and if you are unhappy when someone you know succeeds, you're the problem and you are a parasite. If you are thrilled that they made it, they will remember you forever, and they will look out for you if you need something in the future. In short, don't be a hater, and don't be insecure. Support people, and you will have powerful friends beyond your wildest imaginations in less than 5 years. Number 3. Spirituality and religion. What your beliefs are is not important. What is important is that you have some sense of a greater being or a greater cause. While your typical atheist will flip out, that's the point. In this incredibly difficult game of life, you will have to go through immense pain and suffering if your goal is to win. During these times, it is good to have some sort of belief in a greater being or a greater cause. Whether it's called God or spirits or deities is not important. Do not go through life believing that there is no greater power, as you will need some positive belief if you wish to survive the ugliest of all situations, like for example physical injuries, mental trauma, 20-hour workdays here and there, etc. In short, no need to tell us your religion or God. Instead, focus on the good. What benefit is there to being an atheist? None. Number 4. Frugality doesn't work. Frugality is another word for scarcity. BTB jokes and troll with bro humor that a frugal woman is simply unattractive. No 10 out of 10 Russian model is paying for her own dinner or living in the favelas for $5 a day in Rio de Janeiro. You have to spend to earn. This is another area where most upper middle class people fail. They try to look for the best possible deal and squeeze every single penny. It doesn't work, and this is why they never reach elite status. In short, if you never learn to spend to earn, you'll never be rich. This is a comment referring to both money and social life. Few understand this. Number 5. Don't give things out for free. If you are a parent, you will notice this. If you are not a parent, think back to when you were age 10 to 15. If you got something entirely for free, you didn't care about it and likely ruined it. However, if you had to work for it and bought something, chances are you took good care of it. The same applies to money, business, friends, and charity. Do not simply hand out money. It is squandered. This does not mean you should be frugal or become a Scrooge. It means you should fund or give out money to people who have proven they can do good with the funding. Here is an example. Person A received $10,000 with no plan and no skill set. Chances are it will be blown in weeks. Person B puts hundreds of hours into coding and proves he has the skills to be elite. You give them $10,000 to go to a coding camp. You can wager that this person will excel and not harbor any animosity towards you. As an important note, if you become rich, then you will find that friends and family ask for free stuff. If you decide to give friends a loan, you will lose the friend and the money. The better balance is to give people you care about or love just enough to retire and fade away. Otherwise, they will try to drain you with the argument that it is nothing to you. In short, if you give people money who deserve it, they will remember it for life. If you give out stuff for free, you lose the money and create an enemy. Number 6. Follow your skills. Tie it to money and growth, ignore the exception to this rule. In general, you want to aggressively follow your skills and then figure out how those skills can address a large and growing market. This is actually quite easy to figure out. If you wanted to go into technology, is it smarter to build your career in crypto and software, or in hardware like telephones? It is a no-brainer. Crypto and software. If you are extremely athletic and can become a professional athlete, is it better to be middle of the pack in the NBA or the number 10 high jumper in the world? The NBA is the clear answer. In the end, we don't know what skills you have. That is the entire point of life. You have to find out what you are good at, which is one of the hardest parts. After that, begin looking for an area that needs your skills. In short, figure out what you are good at. Number 7. Some people don't have it. There is no solution here. You cannot save everyone. Life is too short to try and save everyone. You should try to save people with talent and skills, not the guy who is cheering and praying for you to fall with that loser/scarcity mentality. Life isn't fair, and that's okay. Why? In life, if you put in 100% effort, you are practically guaranteed to reach the top 5%. The only time we've seen someone put in max effort and fail is because of some sort of obscure health issue or extreme bout of bad luck. Over the long term, if you put in 100% effort, you'll make it to the top 5% at minimum. Combine that with some luck and talent, and you'll be in the top 1% with ease. Back 100 years ago, people with no it factor simply didn't get to procreate. That's effective Darwinism, or survival of the fittest. Not fun to talk about considering how society encourages weakness. However, it is the reality. In short, only try to save the people who have a shot. Life is too short to try and help everyone. Find the winners, drag their profile up, and keep the ball rolling in the right direction. Objects in motion stay in motion. This applies to life as well. Number 8. Align incentives. You should always align incentives. If someone doesn't understand this basic concept, distance yourself and move on. It just isn't worth the headache. If you're constantly helping someone and they never show progress and never do anything in terms of reciprocity, then delete and move on. There is no way that these individuals figure it out. We've seen it for long enough to realize that the probability of turning it around is 100 times lower when compared to finding someone new. This is no different than sales and dating. If someone doesn't like you, it's a lot better to find someone else versus trying to convince them to change their mind. Incentives drive results. If you can do this well, everyone will be happy. Over time, incentives do change, which causes infighting. However, the incentives matter over the long term. If you leave a starving dog in front of a steak and expect it to die versus eating the steak, you're simply a fool. In short, align incentives. The bigger your plan, the more this is needed. especially if your team is growing and full of geniuses. Number 9. Stop caring so much. No one cares about you. The president doesn't care, your boss just wants you to help him make money, 90% of your friends just want something out of you. The girl you are dating will easily adapt if you break up. Life isn't that serious. If you want proof of this, switch jobs. You'll be forgotten within 3 weeks. If you move cities, you'll have new contacts within a few months. We're really not that important. In the end, the world is an enormous place and very few people would have a ripple on society if they left forever. Do you think this sounds bad? Not really. It means you can take on more risk. Risk does not mean a few extra dollars in a mortgage, risk means levering up all the contacts you have, or at least the ones that you think will support you. It means living life on the edge and pushing into humiliating defeat territory. In short, unless you are a celebrity or famous CEO, no one is really going to care about what you're doing. They will only care if they think they can get something out of you. Then, 3 to 5% of your contacts, or the real friends, will always be supporting you and hoping you get rich and live the life of your dreams. Number 10. The less you need, the more you get. This applies to dating, money, and business. If you don't need anything, the world gives you everything. In life, the less you need, the more you get. The people who don't understand this? People who claim they are likable. These guys are the lowest of the low, they smooth talk you into getting things and eventually blow up. The reverse is much better. Become so valuable that you can create opportunities without any talking or convincing. A simple go here for this and immediate value creation. This is probably something that you already know. The guy who is trying to get laid off never gets laid off. The guy who keeps getting promoted doesn't care much about blowing out his sales quota. The guy with 3 to 5 girls stalking him all day has 10 to 20 other girls sliding into the DMs every day. So on and so forth. Instead of complaining about this, ask, how can I get a small win? If you begin with a bunch of small wins, then you begin to get medium-sized wins, since you don't need them. Then you end up getting a large win because you don't need it, so on and so forth. In short, the less needy you are and the less you care will result in immense growth. Luck does not favor the needy. And that's it for today's video. If you enjoyed it, go ahead and like and subscribe, and I'll see you again next week. With that said, Hedgehog wishes you all a Merry Christmas, even to the banks, but as you already know, banks are zeros.